I said I'd have a look at Google Trends before the actual referendum, hoping to kind of make sense of it, because I'd heard that Google Trends was an excellent indicator tool that could predict elections. So, well worth a look. In this case, I just want information from the UK, since they're the only people who'll be voting. I'm looking for the tags strongerin, which is the kind of campaign associated with the Remain group, and voteleave, which is the tag or whatever associated with the Leave campaign. So from this we can see that voteleave has more traffic, or has had more searches. And as far as I remember, it was the traffic on Google web searches that had been used in the work which had predicted election. We can look at, other time frames. So if I look at just the day, yeah, voteleave is ahead. If I look 30 days, voteleave is also ahead. So I'm confused, because the betting exchanges, the stock market, currencies, all the risk markets are giving a clear signal that it expects a Remain vote. As you can see here, the odds are 1.33. If I click on the more detailed button, so there's now over 57 million which has been bet, and the vast bulk of it has been people betting that it's going to be a Remain, as I mentioned before. So if people felt that, it's very close, it could be a Leave, then they're being offered very good odds if they wanted to bet on that, and basically they aren't. So the probability of remaining or staying in EU is what? Somewhere between 75 and 80%. My actual bet is on the what is the exact percent going to be, because basically the odds are far better than if I just did a pure, is the result going to be a Remain or Leave. The markets have firmed a bit, so the odds are lower than I got when I made the bet. I've added a bit more to the 50 to 55. I had initially bet the same on the 50 to 55 and the 55 to 60, but as the markets firmed a bit, I kind of went, okay, I reckon it is going to be 50 to 55. So if it's higher than 55, if it manages to just go in the 55 to 60, well, then I still make a profit. But ideally I want it to be 50 to 55. Now, returning back to the whole Google Trends thing, so I had to look around, and they just had this article where they're saying, Google data reveals Brexit has a huge lead in online search, and that kind of matches with what we saw. That definitely far more people have been looking for voteleave than for strongerin. And it just shows, that that's quite uniform, that people have been looking far more for leave all over the United Kingdom. So then I looked around a bit more, and here this guy looks at a paper or comments on a paper which supposedly made the claim about how Google Trends are very good at predicting and could predict the Scottish election or Scottish referendum. Examines a recent paper, so I should look at, I'll have a look there, but so he just does a review of that paper, and he points out how there are various, in his mind, flaws. So as it says, there is no correlation between the volume of searches for Alex Salmond and the yes vote. So yes, we saw that more people looked for strongerin. That doesn't mean that more people want to vote strongerin. Oh, this is the link to that paper. I might come back to that at the end, but I hadn't intended to when I began this video. This was more another interesting paper I came across. Can Google Trends help us predict the primary election results? As you can see, February 2016, so quite recent. And he's kind of saying that you can't really. I mean, all you can do is see how many people are searching. I mean, it's not saying, like I said about the Scottish referendum, it's not saying what they're gonna vote like. In fact, he even goes on to say, when it comes to Donald Trump, according to 538, the more people research and understand Donald Trump's policies, the more his numbers in popularity drop. So, in a way, there's a negative correlation between the amount of searches and the level of voting for Trump. So he's more kind of asking that we don't really know yet. Ideally, we know there's some information there, but as it says here, this data on its own doesn't work to predict election results yet. So maybe down the line we'll be able to figure it out. But at the moment, no. So then I just had what the betting markets were saying, but we've already talked about that. So nothing much has changed since the last betting market video. So remember to vote if you're in the United Kingdom, and we'll see how it goes.